Hello and welcome to your Yin Yoga practice. My name is Laura and I'll be guiding you through the next 45 minutes or so in a Yin class. And what you're going to typically experience in a Yin class is we will be holding our poses anywhere from 3 to 6 minutes today. And I invite you to lay out your yoga mat and grab a couple of props. Perhaps you want to lay a blanket over top of the mat and then grab 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, you can use your water bottle. That is fine as well. And then, of course, a blanket. And if it feels okay for you, a pillow. So whether you have a bolster or a bed pillow at home, just to make sure we have all the props that we need. And let's go ahead and get started by laying down on our backs. Feel free to add the bolster underneath the knees or move in more constructive rest where the soles of the feet are connected to the mat, knees draping into one another, or you can have the legs long. Allow the shoulders to come in, and if it feels good for you, let's close down the eyes or have your gaze soft. Right away, let's turn inward here. Let's notice without judging where the breath is residing within the body. Noticing any sensations of the breath. Is it warm? Is it cool? Is your breath sporadic? Is it long? And again, we're just noticing without any kind of judgment. We tend to, most of us, breathe in the top 2 corners of our lungs, which is shallow breathing. And so today in our focus, I invite you to deepen your breath a little bit more, expanding into the deeper crevices of the lungs, the bottom corners. So let's start by taking a big breath in through the nose and a big breath out through the nose. This time as you inhale, we'll inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, pause, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, 4, 3, 2. Pause, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, 4, 3, 2. Pause, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let your body naturally breathe itself. Let's set the intention to really focus in on our breath, no matter what asana or pose we will move through today. And if you've got something underneath the knees, I encourage you to remove it, lengthen the legs. And let's take the arms above our head, just like you do maybe when you stretch in the morning. Just for a moment here, you can decide if you want more of a cactus arm or if you reach a little bit further. And for now, we'll slide our legs over to the right side of the mat. And then shimmy the shoulders over to the right side of the mat as well. Now, we can stay as we are in Banana Asana pose, just as you are, or maybe you see how it feels if you cross the left ankle over the right ankle. Maybe you clasp a hold of the left wrist as you reach gently over towards the right side of the room. If you get here and it does not serve you, you can go back to what does here. Taking this time to move or wiggle or adjust as you need. And then here's where we invite in our stillness. You're more than welcome to close down the eyes. Checking in that as you inhale, your belly rises. Your belly fills up and expands. And on the exhale, your belly empties. Belly contracts towards the back of the spine. Staying here just a little bit longer. If at any point you have to come out of the pose, you have my permission, but try to come back into it and find some stillness here. And let's take about 4 more deep breaths on this side of the body. And slowly release. Let's take our arms back down by our sides of the body. Shimmy the shoulders back to the center of the mat. Uncross the left ankle, or if it was crossed, and just bring your legs back to center. Just pausing here for a moment, not rushing to get to the other side. And then as you're ready, we'll slide our legs to the left side of the mat, shimmying the upper body, the shoulders over to the left side as well. You can keep the arms as they are. We're not symmetrical beings by any means. So if one side of the body feels a little different than the other, that's okay. Otherwise, you can reach the arms above the head. Maybe you cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Maybe you clasp a hold of the right wrist as you gently reach over towards the left. Maybe you close down the eyes or soften the gaze. Let's take a nice deep breath in, filling the belly up with air, and a nice long audible sigh out through the mouth, emptying the belly. Taking full deep breaths here. Knowing that if the mind wanders, it's okay. But just bring the awareness back to the in breath and back to the out breath. And let's take a couple more deep breaths, finishing off this side of the body. And gently unwind. Coming back to center. Take the hands and the arms back down by the sides of the body. Let both legs be long for a moment just to notice what you notice. Ending at your knees, let's plant both of the feet into the ground. And this is just where we're going to start. Shoulders in. Let's hug the right knee in towards our chest for a wind relieving pose. Now you've got a few options. You can keep the left foot planted into the ground, or perhaps you drop the left knee to the left, opening through the left hip, or maybe if it feels good for you, you lengthen the left leg along the ground. So take this time to find what feels good for you. And then here's where we will start to settle in. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, give yourself permission to stay. And slowly, as you're ready, if the left leg is long, let's bend the left knee. Planting the left foot back into the ground, release the right knee from your chest and just plant both of the feet into the ground. Noticing how the body feels here. Maybe even noticing where the breath is, what the breath is doing. And then when you're ready, we'll bring it to the other side. So hugging the left knee into the chest. Maybe the right foot stays planted into the ground. Maybe you drop the right knee to the right. Or maybe you extend the right leg along the mat. It does not matter where you are, as long as you feel good in your body. Taking your time here to find what feels good. And then returning back to the breath. See if when you inhale, you compress the belly into the top of the thigh. And on the exhale, see if you can create a little bit of space between the thigh and the belly. Full deep breaths in and out through your nose. Keep the breath moving in and out through the nose. Taking a few more deep inhales and exhales. Being intentional with your breath. And if the right leg is long, in the next couple of breaths, slowly start to plant the right foot back into the ground. And release the left knee, planting both feet into the ground. Taking a couple of breaths, just letting everything settle. Drawing your knees into your chest. Take all the time you need. We'll roll to our favorite side. Use your arm as a pillow or for support. And then when you're ready, we'll come all the way up onto our hands and our knees. I encourage you or invite you to find your blanket, open it up just slightly. This will just be some extra love for our knees. And then we will take our blocks and place them at the top of the mat. I always like to use the highest level to begin. Hands underneath the blocks. Let's bring the right foot forward here between the blocks. Creating a little bit of space through the body. We'll heel toe the right foot out. So now the hands come on the blocks in the middle or on the inside, of the right foot. Now we have a few options here. We can stay as we are. Maybe you roll onto the outer edge of the right foot a little bit. Maybe you press the right knee away. Perhaps you come down on a lower level of the block. Maybe you don't even want the blocks underneath your hands. That's okay too. Maybe you use your forearms here, coming down onto the forearms, having this space between the right heel and the left knee. Take all the time that you need here to slowly arrive. So getting comfortable for today's body, doesn't matter what yesterday's body did, and then go back to the breath, noticing the inhales and the exhales. I want you to start to imagine that on your exhale, you're sending the breath down towards the right side of the body, the right hip. And taking a deep breath in and out through the nose. And on your time here, if you're on the forearms, we'll slowly make our way back up onto the hands and back up onto the blocks. Just create a little bit of room and space for our bodies here. Heel toe the right foot back in, and then bring the right leg down to meet the left leg. And just for a moment, maybe you bring the hands down to the mat and you take your hips side to side. Preparing for our lizard pose on the second side of our body. Find your blocks. Remind yourself that just because you did something one way on the right side does not mean the left side is going to look or feel the same here. When you're ready, we'll step the left foot forward between the blocks or between the hands. And place the block to the inside or your hands to the inside of the left foot. Let's heel toe that foot out to the edge of the mat. We can decide if we want to roll a little bit onto the outer edge of the left foot, ensuring there's no wrinkles on the inner ankle here. Maybe it feels better if you have the entire foot planted into the ground. And then you get to decide if we lower the blocks or if you come down to the forearms. Whatever you decide here is for your body. Taking a nice long slow breath in through the nose, and on the exhale, imagine that you're sending the breath towards the left hip, the left side of the body. Honoring some stillness if you can. We're here for about another minute. And slowly deepen the breath. Come back up onto the hands. And heel toe the left foot back in. And bring the left knee back to meet the right knee. And take your hips once again side to side. Coming into a child's pose, we'll take the big toe mounds to touch knees wide apart. Melt the forehead down towards the earth. Now you have a couple of options. You can bring the earth up to meet you by sliding a block underneath the forehead. You can also send your bolster or your cushion, especially if you've got a little extra room here, you can slide it between the heels and the glutes or the back of the bottoms. You can also slide this blanket that we've created and roll it into a snake-like position, sliding it underneath the ankles. And so wherever you've landed, we'll slowly start to settle in, no matter where you are on your mat. Welcoming yourself into your Balasana pose. Notice where the breath is residing here in the body, in this asana. See if you can start to breathe into the back of the rib cages, the back of the shoulders. Filling the back of the lungs, the back of the bodies up. And slowly, in the next couple of breaths, slide your hands underneath you and press yourself all the way up. Good. Swing your legs out in front of you. We'll slide the blanket away for now. And we'll meet back onto our backs. Let's first grab a hold of your block. Coming into a supported bridge pose, walk the shoulders in. Plant the feet about hip width distanced and parallel. Grab a hold of your block. You've got multiple layers. The flattest layer and the second layer are the two that I would play around with today. On your inhale, lift the pelvis and the hips up off the earth. Slide the block underneath your sacrum and then lower your sacrum all the way down onto the block, the block. You can keep your hands down by the sides of the body. You can have one hand resting on the heart, one on the belly, or maybe you have both on the belly. You can also, if it feels good today, in your arms, reach the arms above your head. Taking this time to drop into stillness. Catching the rising and the falling of your breath in your belly. And if your mind is wandering, keep bringing your awareness to your inhales and your exhales. Perhaps you even start to extend the exhales. You let them become longer than the inhales. We'll stay here for just a little bit longer. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to lift the pelvis, lift the hips, remove the block that's underneath you, and slowly start to lower vertebrae by vertebrae, massaging out your spine. And draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Maybe you rock a little bit side to side. Maybe you draw circles with your ankles or your knees. And then we'll come into our final resting pose. If you would like to use your props, you are more than welcome to slide the bolster with a pillow underneath the knees. You can use the blanket underneath the head, or perhaps you lay it over top of the body. Maybe asking yourself, what is one more thing that you can do to get a little bit more comfortable here as we find our Shavasana? Now, of course, if this does not serve you, you can take any pose that does for your Shavasana. If it feels good, begin to close down the eyes. Allow the back of the body to become heavy. The front of the body light. Imagine as you inhale, the inhale comes from the soles of the feet, travels all the way up the legs, the pelvis, the hips, the torso, chest, neck, to the top of the crown of the head. And as you exhale, imagine that the exhale comes from the top of the crown of your head, all the way back down to the soles of your feet. Inhaling from the soles of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. And exhaling back from the top of the crown of the head back down to the soles of the feet. Letting the breath wash over the body. As you rest here, in the breath, in the body, And slowly begin to deepen the breath. Wiggling your fingers or your toes. Just gently coming back into the physical body here. Stretching the body in any way it would like to stretch. And as you're ready, hug your knees now into your chest. Roll to your favorite side of the body and pause. Thanking yourself for your time on your mat today. And in the next few breaths, slowly rise to a seat. Maybe the eyes stay closed or the gaze is soft. Bringing your hands together at your heart center if it aligns with you. And align the head over the heart and the heart over the pelvis. May you continue to find your breath, not just in your yoga practice, but off of your mat into your everyday living. Thank you so much for joining me in practice. From my heart to yours, namaste.